Great. Congratulations on making it thus far. We'll quickly jump onto our next framework, the growth framework, a very small, sweet, and interesting framework, which is one step above the profit and profitability framework. So, in the growth framework, we have the first lever of organic growth or inorganic growth. Organic growth refers to growth in the business segments the company currently operates into. Inorganic growth refers to growth through acquisitions, mergers, alliances, in which you are acquiring a business of some other company and then growing in that direction. So, let us first quickly talk about the organic growth segment. And just so that you are not scared, I'll hide these frameworks below and we'll talk about this in a few moments from now. Great. So, organic growth is further divided into two levers. We have revenue per user and we have number of users. In revenue per user, we further have the dollar value that we're extracting per user, and we have the frequency at which the users are purchasing my item. When we talk about increasing the dollar value, the dollar value can be increased by bundling certain services. So if I am selling a bottle, then if I'm also selling a tiffin with it, that is bundling my services. So cross selling, upselling, and increasing the prices. So increasing the prices is understandable. Upselling is that if you are, let us say, buying card, a gaming card in a gaming parlor for, let us say, 1,000 rupees, and the person says that if you purchase it for 1,500, you will be getting an extra credit or whatever. So that is upselling. And cross selling refers to a practice in which if you are in a company and if you are selling, say, an insurance product, and then you say that if you also buy a bank account from us, that will be beneficial for you. That is what cross selling refers to. So increasing dollar value can happen in these four methods. If you want to increase revenue per user, you can also look at the frequency at which people are buying. So if you are having a very good quality product, then probably the frequency at which people will be buying will be lesser. If you reduce the quality, the frequency will increase. However, that will impact the brand perception. So that is a different story. But dollar value and frequency is something that you might want to look at. Then in organic, we also have the number of users. So the number of users refers to the size of the segment and the market share that we have. So size of the segment. Uh, so first we talk about the market share. So market share refers to the total pizza, the pie that we have, and and understanding our market share, and we can further use the consumer journey that we talked about in the profitability framework. The same framework. Refer to the first video for that. And size of the segment refers to which segment are we operating into. So if I am an apparel manufacturer and I'm operating into making jeans for people for males, if I move into say making jeans for females, or if I go into making jeans for children, further if I move into making shirts, further if I move into making specialty garments, for example, say a suit, a custom tailored suit. So this would refer to increasing the sizes of the segments that I'm operating into. And a very useful framework here is an Ansoff matrix. So I will quickly pull my first matrix here. Correct. Right. So Ansoff matrix has two axes. On one axis, it talks about the new markets and existing markets. And on the other x-axis, it talks about the existing products and the new products. So in existing market, within existing product, you can only do a market penetration, right? In new market, so example here is a Geo. So it was a Geo telecom services, an existing product. It is an existing market. So market penetration through price war is something that Geo tried to do here. And if you talk about new markets and existing products, then you are doing a market development. So, for example, an automotive company wants to enter a new country where cars are not being sold. So first, the company will have to develop the market through, say, sales and promotion efforts, developing the distribution network, developing the retailer network. The market development refers to that. If you talk about an existing market and a new product, the company will have to do product development. So product development refers to, let us say, a P&G wants to enter in the market with a new blade. a blade which can also be used, which can be used, let us say, using an electric battery, right? So in that kind of a market, you will have to do a product development where you are telling the current consumers about the product using the already existing brand image. So that is what we refer to product development. And in new products and new markets, that is diversification. That is a completely going all in. You are coming up with new products in a new market, so you will have to devise different strategies. Again, no particular strategy is like this will fit in this, this will fit in this. You will have to come up with new ideas. But a quick search online, a quick Google search would tell you that if you want to extend existing products within the existing markets, what kind of a brand extension are you looking at? What kind of a category extension you are looking at? So just something to know of. Ansoff Matrix is something that is used widely when we are talking about a growth project. So I will again hide it so that you are not scared. Right. And when we move to the inorganic side of the story, inorganic uh, growth can be through a horizontal integration, a vertical integration, or a conglomeration, like getting acquired by a conglomerate. So horizontal integration refers to that if you are producing tables, if you acquire another company which is producing tables, that is an horizontal integration. If you talk about vertical integration, so if you're producing tables, and if you also want to acquire a company which produces wood, if you want to acquire a company which also makes the machine for producing tables, and that will be referred to as a vertical integration in the vertically in the value chain of the product. And conglomeration, again, not very different, but conglomeration is like getting acquired by, say, a Tata. If you are making a good consumer product, a health centered food product, then you are getting acquired by Tata Foods. So that is a small example of that. Usually in the cases you will come across an organic approach. You will be asked to come up with strategies for dollar value. How can we increase the dollar value? How can we increase the frequency? So in this we have, this is the first line of analysis, this is the second line of analysis, this is the third line of analysis, and this is the fourth line of analysis. Usually in 4 lines you will be done and you will have to come up with recommended recommendations. So that is growth framework for you. In the frameworks below, we have discussed the Ansoff matrix, where we talked about the new markets, new products. Something that you might want to look at when you are entering a new market is the Porter 5 forces. Porter 5 forces is something that you will study in your marketing one course. I'm just dropping a snapshot here. Uh, Read about what Porter 5 forces are, but on a very broad scale, it talks about when a company is entering into a market, it wants to understand what is the current rivalry among existing competitors, what is the threat of new entrants, what is the bargaining power of buyers, what is the bargaining power of suppliers, and what is the threat of substitute products. In order to gauge this risk, there are numerous factors which you can go around and calculate. If you want to understand that, let us say we want to do an organic growth and we want to increase the size of the segment, we want to enter a new product and a new geography, you will have to do a Porter analysis, a 5 forces analysis, in order to understand the lucrativeness of that market, whether that market is worth entering or not. And we have a BCG matrix which talks about the products of a company. So if we have multiple products in a company, uh, one product is a star product which has a high market growth rate and a high market share as well. There would be products that are dogs, so low market share, low market growth rate. A cash cow would be a low market growth rate but high market share. Question mark would be whatever you see on the graph. So if we try to give an example here, so a cash cow would be a Parle G biscuit for brand Parle. So market growth rate is currently low, but the market share is very high, right? If we talk about a star product, so if we talk about, say, an AWS service by Amazon, so that would be under a star product. The market growth rate is also high, market share is also high, so that becomes a star product. A dog product would be products that usually do not sell that well. Not the perfect definition, but let us say we talk about Nokia phones which were launched in 2012, 2013. So the phones did not sell great in the market. So those would be certain dog products. And question mark products would be that have a market growth rate which is very high, but the product's market share is currently very low. So if I start, say, a metaverse based product, if I start selling certain products in the metaverse universe, Market growth rate is definitely very high. Meta is going all in that direction, but penetration for my product is very low. So that is a question mark product which the company might want to look at, which the manager might want to look at what to do. Wait and watch is the thing that you do with these question mark products. Next, we have the 4 P's of marketing, very generic. This should be on your fingertips that when we are talking about the marketing mix of any product, you look at the product, price, place, promotion. Just take a look at what is written here. You will understand what marketing mix is. In order to understand more about marketing mix, you can refer to the marketing compendium, which is also being provided by Prepcom. So with that, we have covered the growth framework, the growth story of the companies. You can refer to certain cases, practice a lot of cases, practice a lot of cases in different directions. So you can have cases, for example, an oil and gas company wants to enter a tech space. How should it go about? So that is a classic growth problem. Or you can have a question like an apparel manufacturing, a toothpaste brand, let us say Colgate, wants to increase its growth, wants to increase the sale of its toothpaste. How could it go like? So that's a simple classic organic growth framework, okay, growth strategy case. With that, we have covered growth, and I'll see you in the next round.